Welcome back, people. It's your boy Jacob HYDRAA. Today we will be checking out Dad discovers his daughter-in-law is his son's killer. Dad discovers his daughter-in-law is his son's unaliver. Now, this is such a crazy title. I don't even want to say too much. I just want to get straight into this. I've been loving these real crime documentaries. They've been really they've been feeling like a movie, man. It feels like some shit I used to watch when I was younger, First 48. But this sounds so insane. I just want to get straight into it. Hit the links in the description. Join the Discord. Like the video. Smash the video. Get the video to 100 likes. Subscribe. And make sure you join the Discord so you can know when I'm live on Cake, when I drop new videos, all of that.
Man, we're going to have to get him on this cot, okay?
Immediately called police and was clearly panicked and extremely distressed.
I need help. My husband was shot.
At first, officers thought the tragedy was the result of a robbery or a case of mistaken identity.
This may be a robbery.
But they would be horribly wrong. What Tyrone Hassel Jr. didn't know yet was that his daughter-in-law, Kamaya, was hiding a dark secret that would ruin the family's life. As the investigation continued, detectives would uncover a toxic relationship and a twisted conspiracy, with Kamaya at the very center of it all.
No, he just...
Yo, women be the best actors, dog. Oh, bro, women be the best actors. Because she out here bawling her eyes out, you would think, she a victim. This is disgusting, bro. Gotta use the bathroom, though. Give me a second, chat. I'll be right back. Alright, we back. I got myself some beef patty and some water.
just brought us something to eat.
Okay.
So we sit on the couch eating, and then I just heard gunshots.
If I
Just
tell
heard
you
gunshots?
that this guy, who I think did it to my son, ain't a black person, would y'all treat him the same way?
Absolutely.
Well, it was a black person, sir.
Get these people back.
Bro, listen how she's just crying. I don't know if this is real crying because, she regretted it after she did it. Or if this is fake crying. If this is fake crying, this is way more sinister. Right? Because then you just damn, bro, you want some anime shit. You want some Death Note shit where you just you know what I'm saying? Acting like you care, but you really don't.
Word spreads quickly in a small community, so family members and neighbors were all on the scene within minutes. The house just after 11 p.m. After going inside and bringing food to his family, he stepped back outside. That's when his wife heard gunshots coming from the side of the house near the driveway. She ran outside and found her husband lying next to his pickup truck in the driveway, badly injured and suffering from multiple gunshot wounds.
Who's this guy that's shot in the head?
My husband.
That's in the head?
Yes.
Okay. What's his name?
Tyrone Hassel. Just heard.
The story of how Tyrone met his
really?
wife goes back about 5 years before this tragedy. Tyrone was starting his second year of college when he decided to join the Army. In 2015, he met Kamaya while they were both serving in the military and stationed at Fort Carson. Their relationship moved fast and quickly became serious. Things became even more serious when Kamaya found out she was pregnant. At the time of Sergeant Hassel's murder, Kamaya, who was 22 years old, and Sergeant Hassel were on block leave from Fort Stewart. Kamaya was working as a truck driver, and Sergeant Hassel was serving as a wheel mechanic. At that point, police didn't allow Tyrone Hassel Jr. or Kamaya to leave the scene. They were dealing with a lot of unanswered questions and a killer still on the loose who needed to be found as quickly as possible.
Was he
They need as much info as possible.
somebody here? I mean, do you have any idea how this happened?
I'm not sure.
I mean, this is serious, okay? I don't know what his condition is, but it does not look good.
Just hitting the
okay?
same. She hitting the same emo
So,
to her neck.
If you
just
know something,
I don't think he was beefing with anybody.
now's the time. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he was beefing with anybody. He was just at his friend's house. He was at the family's house, and then he came here.
Told me a long time ago, Daddy, if I go to jail, somebody frame me. My son walked a straight line his entire life.
After speaking with people close to him, police learned that Tyrone didn't have any known enemies, nothing that would explain something like this. They then began carefully processing the scene. There was blood on the truck and blood across the driveway. Multiple shell casings were also found, scattered around where Tyrone had fallen.
There's one, two, three. And then number 4 is right there.
The first thing police suspected was that this may have been a robbery gone wrong. But Sergeant Hassel still had his money, his phone, and his car keys on him, so that possibility was quickly ruled out.
You see that the bullet holes there means the shooter was over on the side and in the casings. We got a bullet right there.
By looking at how the shooting happened, the shots hitting Tyrone in the head, face, neck, and shoulders, it was clear this was a personal attack, not a random act of violence. Detectives also noticed that some rounds went into the garage, which showed that the shooter was positioned behind him while Tyrone was standing at the doorway of his truck. One of the first leads detectives got was that Tyrone had gone to Walmart the night of the murder to buy ammunition. The rounds he bought were 9mm, the same type used in his shooting. This raised an important question. Why was he buying ammo, and was it for self-defense? Without wasting any time, the detectives went to Walmart to collect all the security footage from that night. The Walmart footage clearly shows that he ran into 2 other people while he was there. Maybe there was some sort of feud with these customers, but it's not something the police couldn't track. Now, they're working to identify these 2 individuals to see if there's any connection between them and the shooting that happened just a few hours later. Around 3:30 p.m. the next day, police returned to Tyrone Hassel Jr.'s home. They showed him screenshots taken from the Walmart surveillance video, hoping he might recognize the 2 people Tyrone had interacted with.
Last night when he went to Walmart, he was with a few guys, and there's a little bit of confusion. That's him there, right? Can't really tell who those guys are here. This guy here, you know them too?
I don't.
No?
There's a bullet hole in my garage and my fence.
Yeah. So at some point, they were definitely shooting that way.
All the shells was in the same spot.
Yeah. So
I seen it. I mean, I couldn't come past the tape, but I was looking.
And I can't say with 100% certainty, but it sounds like when Tyrone was on the ground, they shot him again.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
it didn't take long for the next lead to come directly from Tyrone Hassel Jr. himself. He started going through social media, carefully reviewing posts on Facebook to see if anything could point to who might be responsible for the crime. When he came across something that seemed suspicious, he immediately went to the police department to report it.
If I tell you that this guy, who I think did it to my son, ain't a black person, that he's not a black person, would y'all treat him the same way?
Absolutely.
I think
you gotta ask those type of questions, because, like, bro, these cops play dirty, man.
I think I know
a lot of dirty cops.
He believed the killer might have actually been looking for Tyrone's stepbrother, who at the time was dealing with some personal conflicts with other people. Because of that, police considered the possibility that this was a targeted hit meant for the stepbrother, a case of mistaken identity that tragically ended with Tyrone being killed instead.
That's the first screenshot.
Oh, that's what you're thinking?
You know
Yep.
my stepson.
Yeah.
He's into a bunch of shit.
Oh, and we know.
Police interviewed Tyrone's stepbrother and took his statement, then followed up by speaking with other witnesses connected to him. They pushed this lead as far as they could, and it took about a week to interview everyone involved. But once again, it went nowhere. As the investigation continued, the evidence police gathered made one thing clear: the stepbrother was not involved. There was no indication that he, or anyone he had issues with, played any role in the shooting. On top of that, his appearance was very different. He had long dreadlocks down to his shoulders, making a case of mistaken identity with Tyrone highly unlikely. In cases like this, when police don't have an initial suspect, they're forced to follow every possible lead. After that, police began receiving a large number of tips from the community. In several of those tips, callers said Tyrone had been seen in the roller rink area, where he was involved in a verbal confrontation with another person. Detectives then located Tyrone's friend, Dylan. They brought him to the police station to talk in more detail about what had happened and see if it could be connected to the shooting.
What did you see there?
We got there, and we see him, and I'm speaking, he just give us an odd look, and then, like, Tyrone cut out early.
So this drama dude was on Apple Street too?
Yeah.
Wherever that was?
Yeah, he just, like, give off this vibe.
He mentioned that there had been a verbal altercation with a guy known by the street name Drama. Investigators decided to follow up on that lead to see if it had any connection to Tyrone's murder. They also brought in 2 other friends for interviews, hoping to get a clearer picture of what really happened.
So the reason I'm here, you were at the roller rink Sunday night with Ty. So
Yeah.
Dead end after dead end.
So
The process
that's not even a neighborhood where people have beef like that. Kamaya.
of chasing leads that go nowhere can be exhausting for investigators. But what detectives still didn't know was that one of those tips would eventually become the key to solving the case. The person responsible had been right there the whole time, standing close to the family and the police, appearing to grieve along with everyone else. A revelation that would soon shock the entire community. Through the investigation, a resident came forward and reported something unusual. On the night of the murder, they noticed a vehicle backed into a driveway at a residence. That detail ended up giving detectives one of their first major clues.
Got back in. A couple of seconds later, he got out again, completely, and started walking. And I watched him, and he went and turned left.
Okay.
And I just add two together. He has something to do with it.
Okay. Did you hear anything?
So why only now you talking about it, Unc?
When I was in bed, yeah.
Okay, what'd you hear?
Gunshots.
Okay. Then after that, did you see anything?
No, I was in, like I say, I was in bed. And I heard, it woke me up.
Okay. So,
Deaf in my left.
The vehicle was described as a black 4-door car that had backed into the driveway of a vacant house that was listed for sale. Detectives were able to get a license plate reader hit on that vehicle, tracking it as it passed through Illinois toll booths captured on surveillance cameras.
Okay.
That plate came back to someone in the U.S. military, serving in the same battalion as Sergeant Tyrone Hassel III.
Well.
The owner was identified as Jeremy Cuellar, a member of the same squad as Tyrone. Using the license plate data, investigators were able to place his vehicle near the scene of the crime on the day of the shooting. For the first time, the investigation was starting to show real progress, and police finally had a name. Before detectives spoke directly with Jeremy, they immediately contacted investigators at Fort Stewart working with the U.S. Army. Army investigators
Oh, he's sliming out his own, squad member?
began going through the platoons connected to the case and interviewed several service members. One of them was Sergeant Bacon. He had personal first-hand knowledge of Jeremy Cuellar and Kamaya Hassel, information that would quickly become critical to the...
Oh.
I'll help you with that. So they were all in Korea, and that's where it started.
Yeah,
He and the girl had a relationship going on, and that the guy that died had said something to him, so they had words, and then he had threatened him.
The relationship between Jeremy and Tyrone's wife turns out to be a crucial piece of the puzzle. It adds real weight to the motive and helps explain why certain things may have happened. Once Kamaya's name comes into the picture, police have no choice but to focus on her next. A turn in the case that would shock everyone. But detectives still need the full story. Was Kamaya being stalked by Jeremy, with him becoming obsessed and ultimately deciding to eliminate what he saw as his rival? Or was she actually part of it, aware of what was going to happen and involved from the start?
Wow.
What was going on? When did you guys become romantic? You guys seen each other while he was in Michigan? Now listen, did you see him while you're in Michigan? Because they're going to take your phone apart. When they take your phone apart, it's all there. So what I want to say is, before they do that, I want you to be honest with me.
I've worked the same amount of hours that he worked, and I still have to come home and do everything for the baby.
I agree, that's not fair.
And it's like the reason why why the relationship and a bond was built between me and Jeremy is because he will always tell me, you don't have to worry about that. When me and you get together, I'll make sure you have your breaks. I'll do this for the baby. I'll do that.
So why didn't she just divorce him? Like, why you like, yo, y'all are fried, bro.
And it just made me really feel like that all of that was gonna happen.
The first striking thing about Kamaya in the interview was how cold and calculated she was. Definitely not normal for an average person. You could even say she manipulated Jeremy into pulling the trigger. What's clear, though, is that she was a much more active participant part of the plan from the start, with Jeremy following through on her instructions.
So, when we were in Korea, I can't really pinpoint exactly when it was. Me and Ty had this big argument.
Bro, you see how her whole demeanor changed? She was frantic, like out of control, damsel in distress. Now she looking like Camille Hassel of the family of Hassel. She moving like Dawn Camille. Like she flick a finger to everybody on the block. It's up. Everybody done with. Everybody getting trunked.
And then, I came back into the building. I was talking to Jeremy. I'm like, man, I don't want to be with him no more. Like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to deal with it no more. And he was like, so why y'all still together? And I was like, we have a child. And even if I talked to him about divorce, he probably wouldn't even, do it with me. And he was like, I can handle that. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, I can handle it. I get that guy, I get a girl, blah, blah, blah. And well, it just started to progress.
Why did you do it in Korea?
No, it was just planned in Korea. It wasn't to be done in Korea. It was just planned in Korea when we got back to the States. But I didn't take it serious because even though I...
Now listen, this is where you and I stay straight. Because you didn't take it serious because you knew he was out there that night with a gun. So were you guys talking because they're going to get your correspondent every day?
He would be like, what's today looking like? And I'd be like, well, he's out cutting hair. And he'd be like, okay, well, we'll be up there in a few hours. And then he'll come up here.
Shit to follow, little shot drop.
Scope out and see if he'll come home by himself or if he wouldn't. And then we'll try to take the opportunity. I said, well, he's about to bring us something to eat. And then that's when he came.
Wait. So you still stay with this nigga, talking to this nigga? Bro, what do you mean he wouldn't divorce you? So just leave him. If you can't divorce the nigga, leave the nigga. Why he gotta get unalived? Yo, this is a stupid reason to kill somebody,
you called him and said, well, hold on, I just come back to bring food.
Yeah, I said that he was coming back to bring us something to eat.
No, he just brought us something to eat. We were sitting on the couch eating, and then I just heard gunshots.
Well, why
are you from Kenya? I'm from the Caribbean, bro.
I talked to him about it, and he didn't want to.
You put your needs and your wants above somebody's life.
I did.
Often suspects won't say much to the police, but when she confessed during the interrogation, almost everything she talked about was about herself, how things affected her, why it had to be done, and how calculated it all was.
She's a
you said you feel about as responsible as Jeremy is. I mean, would you say this is a 50-50 you guys were on this?
Yeah. Okay. Because I knew all about it, and like I said, I probably could have stopped it, but the reason that I didn't, because I felt like he would, be mad at me or...
Shout out to you,
not love you anymore?
Yeah, because I just felt like I wasn't getting that love at home like I wanted to.
Without a doubt, she's one of the coldest people you could ever come across in any true crime story. At the same time, Exactly the opposite of Kamaya, Jeremy didn't say a word. He invoked his right to remain silent, and at that point, the interview had to be ended. During the investigation, the mounting evidence against Kamaya was overwhelming. Her confession made it clear this was a planned and premeditated act, and that Jeremy had come up from Illinois to carry out the homicide.
Kamaya, a little demon, bro.
Kamaya wanted her husband dead because she felt he wasn't taking care of her properly. She believed she was overburdened and had too much responsibility. Her narcissistic traits became even more apparent during one police interview.
Bro, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is such a, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bro, this is such a stupid reason to get somebody clapped. It's like, bro, bro.
When she was asked if Sergeant Hassel had life insurance, she casually mentioned she would receive $400,000 from the Army after his death. The financial motive was clearly a factor in the crime, but what really happened that night was that Tyrone was actually bringing food back for her and their 1-year-old son when the hit occurred. Kamaya was at least as involved, if not more so.
Yeah, but okay, so you saying he's not doing enough, but he's doing something. They got some niggas that not even in their kid's life. Bro, this shit is like, This shit is some shit that could just be fixed with communication, bro. You could just talk. Like, you could just talk to the nigga, bro. You could be like, yo, listen. Talk to the nigga, talk to his pops. Like, bro, what is... Yo, this is frying me right now.
Than Jeremy. He was just happy to be the one pulling the trigger. In the end, Kamaya was arrested for first-degree premeditated murder. On August 29th, 2019, about 8 months after Tyrone's killing, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She will never see freedom again. Jeremy also pleaded guilty to second-degree murder on July 30th, 2019, and was sentenced to 65 years in prison. With his earliest eligibility for parole at age 90, it's extremely unlikely he will ever get out. He later tried to withdraw his plea, but the Michigan Supreme Court refused to hear his case in 2021.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. You know, under the circumstances.
Man, she wanted me to do it, man. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I wanted her. You know what I'm saying? And she knew what she was doing. She wanted the money. So I don't know what that's crazy. That's crazy. Honestly, I was blind. Like, I was blinded. You know, I thought that was love. You know what I'm saying?
I was just wondering if she talked to you about that afterwards.
I mean, yeah, she did. Matter of fact, she did. She was like, yeah, like, you know, he died in my arms. And she was saying she was sad about it. And I'm like, then why'd you have me do it then? Like, you know what I'm saying? But she was just like, you know, it's cool. Like, I could tell by the way you look, man, you want me to burn in hell, sir. And I understand that. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I really hope you can forgive me. You know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna take forever, or you might not. But I really hope you can.
True enough, you killed my son, but I don't think. I know I'm looking at somebody that had a twisted mind at one point. You know, seemed like a good cat. And I hate the situation had to happen, especially I hate it had to happen to my son. I'm never gonna. The only thing I could do is visit him in the grave.
Wow. That's crazy. How does that even work, bro? The laws are cooked, bro. How did she get custody of the kids? How did the family get custody of the kids? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. She deserved that shit, bro. Like, okay, I understand you for 400K, like, you trying to get some bread. Like, I understand. I guess I can understand you trying to get money, but, like, there's different ways to get money, bro. Especially if you're in the army, bro. Like, this is some lazy shit. This is some hard art shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm disgusted. Hit the links in the description. Follow for more. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one, bro.